The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Hey, welcome to this episode of the Trevor Jackson Podcast, man. I'm very appreciative that I got this artist on the show. I actually feel as if I manifested this this interview or this conversation because I listened to this lady's music when I first moved here from Tennessee, and a lot of people was telling me about her, but it seemed like the music just kept coming to me, and she had a song Sweet, and she has a plethora of hit records that I like that I haven't heard a bad song from her yet.
Thank you.
And on this episode, I have Lillian Blanche on the show. How are you doing today, Lillian?
I'm really good. I am laughing at the manifestation aspect because, first of all, I actually was going to say no to this podcast.
Yeah.
Only because I don't want to do podcasts right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do them right now because I want to.
Why is that?
Because I want to make a full body of work before I do another podcast. And so, but yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to.
And that lets me know that you value time too and value your creativity, because one of the questions I was going to ask you is like, you got a lot of hit records out, man. And you don't, I ain't seen a full body of work on DSPs.
I know.
What would you consider a full body work? How many records?
Oddly enough, I wouldn't say like a number, as I would more so say a story for a body of work.
Yeah.
Because I think about Kanye West's, what is it? Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And even like the length of some of those songs and the stories, and I feel like even with the production or the music is a part of the story, right? So you could be saying a story and it just be only a snippet of it are actual words, and then like maybe the whole thing is, the rest is like production of music, instrumental, right? And you might have 4 or 5 songs, and that could just be a strong body of work.
Yeah.
But I think something that goes from start to finish and you feel full, honestly. But I mean, if you ask like Beyonce, you probably would need maybe 15 songs, 13 to 15 songs, I think, typically for people. I don't know. But I think if it all like meshes and molds together to make just a meal, that's like a full body of work.
What would you think what it would take to do that? Like, would you like doing a 3-week session, or would you like doing it sporadically, like do a song here, a song there? Because I kind of prefer like just booking the studio and just going in and nonstop until it's done.
I would love to do that. I think ideally that would be great. I think rappers, I'm sorry guys, I had ginger ale and this is making me burp. I feel like rappers can do that and singers could do that. You just have to find the right people who are going to want to stick in a studio session, because I know for just one of my songs, it takes like 12 hours. And that's just to get it right. And so that might be coming in for 4 hours one day and then wrapping it up another 4 or 5 hours, or doing sessions like increments of 3, where it's like 3, 6, 9, 12. And then you go in and have to like listen to the producer, engineer kind of like work their magic and like redo it or whatever. And who has the time for that? A lot of people don't realize that, like for singers, because you got to go in with background.
It has to be layered.
Yeah, it has to be layered.
Mhm.
And then there are some things that you don't hear that maybe an engineer might hear or engineer hears. Just
Yeah.
like that. But ideally that would be great to like go on for a week. But I guess over time, you might have like song ideas and it just comes together and then you put it all together. Or if you find the right producer. And that's what I need right now. Like if you found the right producer where every song you play, you can sing something to it, maybe. That's
another question I was going to ask you too, because it sounds like you want a cohesive project. You want a story. So you should work with one producer. My perspective, just one producer. And a lot of people, a lot of artists, they have a different producer on every song though.
Right.
So if you could work with just one producer, any producer in the world, you had access to India, who would it be?
Ooh. I know the sounds. I know producers' sounds, but I would probably work with Drake's producer.
40. That's his name. 40.
Yeah, I would work with 40.
Wow, that would be dope too, because you do have to me, my perception of it, you do have a dreamy, soulful, and it has pop to it sound, my opinion.
Yes. So like I kind of called it pop soul. And I don't know, people always say like they hear the soul in my music, and I kind of try to run away from that. And because anybody who said neo soul, I'm like, ah.
I don't even know what neo soul is. Neo,
like
the part neo.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
So I understand the pop soul.
Right. So like, I mean, because it's like pop, you think it's current, popular, you know, those things. And sometimes other people think of pop like type of vibes, but pop is popular.
Yeah, so it's not a sound really. It's just popular music.
Exactly, what's popular. And I mean, now they have terms like alternative R&B, which I would probably fall underneath that umbrella. I like alternative R&B because of course there's alternative rock.
Yeah, they should make alternative hip hop because
yes, there is a lot of because I would say like Drake is like alternative hip hop to me.
Yeah, because he make dance, pop, rap, soul, singing, all of it. Blues. His father's from Memphis, so
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did I know that?
Yeah, his father's
did
still.
I learn that from when I was in Memphis?
I don't know.
I probably did because I feel like he fixed that like Pimp Modi type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like Memphis to me, it's just like, yeah.
Hey, it's a good frequency down there, man.
I love Memphis. And it's so funny listening to your accent because I love the Memphis accents. I got a friend named Dindy who I met while I was there.
Yeah.
And she's a director, but she does like a lot of stuff, like film stuff. And every time she like her, like when I came back from Memphis, that's how I was talking. I love Memphis. It has a lot of soul. Oh my God, I just felt warm energy there. Like that's like I need a space like that to create because it's hard to create here. I guess
this a banking city. It's money driven. It's fast. It's faster than Memphis. Like in Tennessee, you can slow down and think and create and live life to be able to have ideas or whatever though. But one thing, like listening to you and your sound, and are you originally from Charlotte?
I am a native. Yep.
Like to me, Charlotte got probably some of the dopest singers, period. KC is my favorite. A lot of people think I'm crazy for saying it, but he's my favorite all-time singer.
Well, they have their own unique sound, and then plus they were part of a collective where I hate for you guys to hear the M&Ms, but a part of a collective where that group of people were kind of like running things. So like if you ever read Timbaland's book, The Emperor of Sound, and you like notice like who all was like around like during that time and then compare it with other things that were going on, like because didn't one of them who dated Mary J. Blige?
KC,
yeah. And just think about just the different things that all of the different groups were going through, like Genuine, Timbaland up under what's
Missy
his name?
Elliott and
Devontae.
Swing, Devontae, yeah.
You know, and just they all had that sound because they were like singing what they were going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what people want to hear. They want to hear. I don't know why we embrace pain and pleasure and stuff so much in music, but we love it though.
I can't. I can't. And maybe that's what's gonna take my music to the next level. But pain just feels so. I don't know. It's just like I just suck it up.
Yeah.
I don't really want to put it out. And I said that like a long time ago. I said it a long time ago.
You don't want to release it verbally on records.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to release it, period. It's kind of like, think of a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, say for instance, somebody is just like throwing like bullets or something in you. And you just say...
Yeah. You made a post recently about signs and we had a conversation about being introverts or whatever. Do you have a birthday coming up soon?
Oh, I do. I'm an Aquarius. And my birthday is on the 15th of February.
Okay, I'm an Aquarius also. And
you are?
My birthday is... No, I didn't tell you that.
Oh my God.
My birthday is January the 22nd. But as Aquariuses that's introverts, it seemed like we the type of people that live in our head, and then when we create, we let it out. Am I right in that, or am I wrong in that?
Oop. Okay. First of all, stop exposing us, but I feel like that's for some Aquarians. Like me, how do I say this? Because I don't want to say that I don't, and I don't want to say that I do. I do live in my head, but I feel like it's not living in your head. Like, I feel like people made that term to gaslight us, to say we living in our head when really we're analyzing.
They try to use it as a negative term when really we just...
Right.
We just doing what we supposed to do, because the mind and the brain is two totally different things.
Period. So. Like, think about everything that goes on in the brain and how the brain is made up and what it's made up of and what a brain can do. Like, it's like CSI or maybe it wasn't CSI, but there was an episode where a girl thought she was pregnant because she thought she was pregnant. Her body created milk.
Oh, man.
And her stomach was, she had all these symptoms like she was pregnant. So the mind is, you're supposed to use the mind, and it's weird, but I live in my mind because I'm analyzing things. And it's just like, I care about people. I care about myself. I care about the world, nature. I care about a lot of stuff. And I think we think more because I feel like we have the power to destroy. And we have the power to destroy verbally. And so before we keep it in our head. Yeah. Because if we were to unleash
the things that's going on in our head,
it's a wrap.
And by you loving everything, because you use the word care, but I use the word love. I love everything.
Yeah, I love everything. I ain't gonna cap. And I don't know, maybe because of the way of the world, we don't want to say that, because I've found that word scares people. And the word love scares people. Yeah. And I think if we were all like operating as we are supposed to be, the world would be a different place.
Operating through love.
And through love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is like, people tell you, oh, how can you meet somebody and you love them? I know instantly if I love someone, and it doesn't mean that I will love you forever, or I might love the version of you that I met forever. Yeah. And then I just decide not to love the other parts, and we could just move on.
And some people, they try to hold that love and that care back because actually they really just in fear of something.
Yeah, I feel it's in fear of vulnerability. Yeah. Nobody wants to be vulnerable.
But people say that they want to be free, but they ain't acting like they free.
Exactly. Yeah. But if you do operate in love and you give love, there's nothing wrong with cutting it off. That's like water. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. Hold on. You said cutting it off.
Like if you need to. So say for instance, you will never cut off the love, but you can cut off the accessibility to the love.
get some. You gon' need a ransom. I'ma stick you up and pull your pants down. Somebody's damn son and me tonight. Fuck tonight. Wasted, chocolate wasted. Beauty from your waist down, faceless. Got the souls of angels, and I know we know each other. Basics, foreplay, missionary all day. Loving on my body, how you skillful like karate.
I like that. I like that, Lillian. Because I feel like, personally, I feel like love is permanent.
Yes, it's forever.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I have an ex, will love him forever.
But he doesn't have access to
He
it
does
no more.
not. He
Yeah.
does not. Send me a message, an email.
Because I think when people try to remove the love, then they are actually hurting themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. It is true.
Yeah.
When you remove the love, it does, you are hurting yourself, which is something that I'm kind of experiencing now.
Because
I wanted to just go away so much because I'm like, why am I such a lover? Why can I just not hate?
Yeah.
And I can feel it for myself. So I have to find a way. I'm looking for a way to still love and just not have the access because I care. I want to communicate or reach out or whatever. And this is a family member.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This isn't.
It's
guy.
impossible to love, though, to remove the love from a family member. They got the same blood. Even no matter what they do. That's
I'm
just
an
my
Aquarius.
perspective. Yeah, so you done for. You gotta love. My
It
opinion.
takes us 2 to 3 years to forgive. What
But
about
we'll
you?
never
Well, I mean,
forget, though.
We won't. And it'll never be the same.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's the sad part is because I know it will never be the same.
Man, that's crazy.
So, yeah.
You mentioned something, though. I'm kind of nosy, too. I've been researching you a lot, too.
Oh,
Lillian.
my
I'm
God.
really nosy.
I am so scared. I'm so
Don't-
scared because I
don't-
feel like you did your homework.
Yeah, I did. I do. I take pride in, good conversation. I like good conversation.
Okay.
But you mentioned a book. You mentioned a book. The Timberland book.
Yeah, Emperor of Sound.
Okay, so I listened to you on a podcast called Sex in the Queen City. And you mentioned that you are a librarian or you were a librarian.
Yes.
So how does being well-read or around books and reading books all the time, how does that affect your writing skills?
Okay. I wouldn't say well-read because there are so many books that we will never get to read in our lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I read what I like to read when I like to read it.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
So I've had like spurts of reading, and I'm more of a.
What genre of reading you like?
Okay, so I like self-help.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And I don't know if I should use the term romance, because it's not really romance. It's more so. They have a couple in there. It's like a couple. That's where I get like my love, because I don't have love in my life. So I like to read other people's love stories.
I'm nosy again. Explain that I don't have love in my life part.
Oh my God, we haven't even got off the first question. But being a librarian hasn't made me read and it affect my writing.
Okay.
And I will say yet. It may one day.
Mm-hmm.
But because I read a lot of self-help books, I don't know that it goes into my writing, but it probably does because I live my life and I've gotten self-help books and you know what I'm saying? So maybe. But the lack of love in my life, yeah. I like rom-coms.
Mm-hmm.
I love rom-coms because it's always a story of how two people aren't together or they're looking for love and then they find love or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, because I don't know, it helps me be hopeful.
Okay. I like that though. That you are aware that something's missing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to perceive that because I want to say something, but I don't though.
A lot of people, I mean, it's shocking.
It is shocking because when I listen to your music and when I look at you in person or whatever, I'll be like, nah, it's people that love her out here. It gots to be.
Mm-mm. No, I barely even got happy birthdays last year for my birthday.
Well, I didn't get I didn't get happy birthdays. People think that just because they left something on Instagram or Facebook wall that they
Right.
communicated with me. I think that's
like barely anybody called my phone last year. It was very hurtful because I'm the type of person who I'll stay up until 12 o'clock just to call you at 12 o'clock
on the dot,
just to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of person I am. Or find something that you need and like get that. You know, I think most Aquarians are like that.
That's true.
I don't burped. I don't get it in return. But a lot of people don't think this. Like, a lot of people think I'm always out of town.
You travel.
That's what they say. I don't feel like I am.
Well, when I look at you on social media or something, I wouldn't never think that you was here.
Yeah, people say that.
Yeah.
I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know. Yeah, but it doesn't, it's not like you're hurting anything to ask. But then it goes back into like rejection. People don't like rejection. I know I didn't, and I don't, but I don't know.
They might be in fear of approaching you in that area or whatever.
No, at this point, I don't feel like anybody's in fear because people said that so much before that I purposely made it a point to like give certain people access or say what I want, like, or open it up, like, hey, let's do something, or hey, call me, and they just.
I was telling you before we got on the podcast too, like being in Charlotte, coming from a different area. I don't know if you want to interact on this or whatever though, but I feel bad for the women in the Queen City.
Feel bad for us. Tell us why you feel bad for us.
I'll tell you why. It's a plethora of beautiful women here.
It's dope women. Beautiful. They have money.
Yeah, they getting money. They're doing their thing. A lot of
acquaintances that I have definitely are up there with the figures. And
they're doing well with themselves. And then I hope the dudes don't think I'm taking a shot at them, but the dudes struggling, and it's not a lot of them. And the ones who might think they got it going on or whatever, they see that they have options because it's so less of them.
Yeah.
And it's so many women that the women have a hard time here if they looking for a good guy to settle down with. I would think that it would be time to move, but you might not have the access of being a queen elsewhere, but besides the Queen City.
Queen City.
Yeah.
I don't want to bash guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to bash the guys, but I will say this. Rest in peace to my man. What's his name?
Recently, it's so many rest in pieces.
Yeah, what's the rest in peace guy?
Take off.
High value.
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah. Oh Lord, I like Kevin Samuels.
I do.
Be honest.
I don't know if I can say that. No, but listening to Kevin Samuels, it did make me think about myself and then what I have to offer.
He was blunt. Very
blunt. But then he also checked the guys. Like, he checked everybody. So I just think, like, across the board, he kind of checked everybody. There were some things that I liked and some things that I didn't like. But, you know. But the guys, they have just nasty attitudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of the banking guys are then, I don't know. That's a touchy subject.
They have options here.
They have options.
If you was to live somewhere else where it's a lot of guys and less amount of women, because it's places like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Charlotte is a whole totally different place. I done lived in D.C. I done lived in Georgia. I'm from
what part of
Tennessee.
Georgia?
Stone Mountain.
Okay, that's like Atlanta, right?
Outside of Decatur.
Okay, Decatur.
And at the end of the day, Charlotte is a different breed. And I say I feel bad for women for a reason, because it's a lot of...
Give a story of like a homegirl that has told you something.
I haven't had no homegirls here. I had one friend, but I don't think that she liked guys. I'm not going to mention her name or nothing though, but I don't think that she liked guys. So
how do you know that we have it bad? Is it because you have homies and you hear they talk about women?
I have homies and see how they talk about women. But if I go to the gym, if I go to a hookah lounge, I see 20 girls. I see all girls. I go to the cigar bar.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought cigars was for men.
Exactly. But so women are finding where the men are,
mm-hmm.
and they're going there.
But it's 2 guys smoking cigars and it's 45 women in the cigar bar.
Yeah.
Dressed up, they fly too. The girls got their hats on and their jackets and vest and they nice shoes and stuff, and they fresh, and it ain't even no dudes available, period.
Yeah.
So I
mean, what's happening?
I think it might got something to do with like jail, dudes going to jail and dudes killing each other. It might the violence or whatever might be hindering women. We might need growing up in fatherless households.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And dudes not having no guidance, and they just they're not even here no more. They in prison or they gone, and the women are left by themselves.
Right.
So I really can't say nothing bad about the women in Charlotte.
I mean, I think a lot of people say things like, oh, well, this girl's crazy. No. And a lot of, like, somebody posted that women are not as upfront or don't want the truth. And I said, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, when you are upfront with women about what it is that you want, they take offense. And it's just like, well, how did you say it?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women...
Oh, yeah. It's about how you say it, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no. I'm like, well, if that's your opinion, then that's your opinion, because I'm not going to argue with you. But it's just like, you can't say certain things to men. They're just like...
Well, it ain't that much difference in men and women, because both sexes have masculine and feminine energy. A lot of people, men won't say, I ain't feminine, I ain't got no feminine energy, but that's cap.
No, they are.
That's all cap.
Yeah.
And as I get older or whatever, I realize that females just want to be told what's your agenda, what's your purpose,
what's the purpose,
what's your intentions
because
with me.
What are your like? Listen, I asked the ex when we had broke up. Same when I broke up with 8 years ago. We broke up. We started back kind of like talking or whatever. And I was like, what are your intentions? He straight up said, I don't have any. Okay, you got to have some type of intentions. What do you intend on doing? Like, do you intend on smashing? Do you intend on making me a text partner, a call partner, a hangout partner? We're going to hang out, you know? What the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, because I ain't giving up the game, guys, but everybody got intentions.
Everybody has intentions.
Everybody.
I mean, do you want somebody that just looks good, like on your shoulder, on your arm? Do you want to just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
because if you don't have intentions, then we don't got nothing.
Talk about, yeah. And it's just like, what do we have to talk about? Okay, well, see you later. And, you know, for a long time, he would just check in. And he'd be like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. And and then I would say something back, and then he wouldn't text me back. And then I would be like, what the fuck was the purpose of him even hitting me up?
Dudes like control too. They like to try to mind games. Like,
I cut that shit off. And then he tries to email me. He's emailed me over the years, and I was just like, I think it's best that we just do not talk.
Mm-hmm.
But now he sends me like maybe an email once a year. I'm not responding. I don't respond anymore.
He got problems then. No disrespect to you if you're watching this podcast or whatever, but he got problems because you on the mind. He should just have said. He should have just said what needed to be said. Be straightforward, and he wouldn't have to be in the background. You know what I mean?
I mean, we will never talk again because we were like really good friends and platonic, and then we got together.
Friends that's the one though. When you're friends with somebody and then you move forward, them the ones that you feel the most that kind of end abruptly.
Well, he could have came back in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 years that I was depressed over it and was still trying to make something with it. He had 4 years.
Golly, that's
and that
a lot
was
of
been
time.
8 years. So imagine I've been okay for 4 years.
It's a done deal now.
I spent 4 years. That's a lot of time of somebody's life to still want to be with someone.
Yeah.
You have 4 years.
4 years is a long time.
That is a long, and that's not COVID time.
I might be exposing myself for saying something though, but I remember when I first met the lady I'm married to now, 2 weeks in, she said, "You got 2 years to marry me or I'm gone." She said, "You got 2 years." But she waited 2.5, so.
You feel like a nigga, don't you? You're like, at least I got that half year.
I got 6 months.
You wasn't told what to do. I had a half year over.
But
wow.
4 years is a long time though. That's a real long time.
4 years. So in the 2 years, and I hate to pull the mic from you. So how did you know she was the one?
I knew before 2 years.
Mm-hmm. How soon did you know? How did y'all meet?
I met her in real estate school. Okay. We was in real estate school trying to get our license together, and then we started studying. Mm-hmm. And we started studying, and then I seen how assertive she was. She was assertive. She was always on time. I don't know if she's still on time now, though, all the time. But she was always on time. She was straight to the point, straightforward. We knew what we wanted, and we didn't want anything from each other. We both wasn't looking for relationships, so we wasn't looking for love, and it just meshed. Mm-hmm. And I knew probably 3 to 4 weeks, I was like, oh man, I could spend every minute with her.
3 to 4 weeks after meeting her, or 3 or 4 weeks after you were like, I could see myself with her, and then 3 or 4 weeks after you were dating?
It was 3 or 4 weeks after meeting her. It wasn't no sex or no dates or nothing. It was just conversation. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't even want the conversation to end. I know this might sound weak or whatever.
No, that's what's up.
You know how sometimes you talk to somebody, you're like, wow, I don't want to stop talking to them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's how it was. And I said, we still talk to this day. Ever since the first day I met her in real estate school or whatever, and we studied together, we haven't been away from each other since.
That is so freaking dope.
And I hadn't been in a relationship for 5 years prior to this.
So,
and we supposed to be talking about music.
I know, but I'm about to it's gonna come back around to music. It's about to come back around to music.
Nah, but this is dope though. I like this.
So, how did you take her out on a date?
Okay, before I got to a date, we was talking about. She was talking to me about men, how they let her down, how they was. And it's cheesy what I'm about to say. I told her this. She laughed in my face when I told her it. But she was telling me how dudes was faking and setting up dates and not going on them.
It has happened to me. It happens to me all the time. Mm-hmm. Which is how friend zone happens.
That song, the record. Uh-huh. Yeah. Dudes lying to her and stuff, saying they're going to do this and not do that. Dudes in relationships. Might be married men and they flirting with her and they not telling her that they're married. Truth. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I was telling her the cheesy point of what I told her. I said, what you looking for might be right in front of your face. Why you complaining? You looking too hard. You looking for something. It might be right in front of you.
And you said that to her?
Yeah.
That's when you knew.
Yeah.
So, how did you get out of that friend zone?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took her to Bonefish and...
What did you say? Did you say, let me just take you on a date one day?
No, I said, what you looking for might be right in front of your face. And then...
And what you say, you?
Nah, she walked off laughing.
Mm.
She laughed at me. She said, oh, that was cheesy. But then after that, I said, let's hang out more often. I took her out to eat and stuff. And then we started talking more. And I'm a vegan, but she eats meat and stuff. And I know how to cook meat.
Right, okay.
Still, so I know how to cook good. I'm from the South.
That is a good compromise.
What you mean?
To be vegan and to not feel like you have to force her to be vegan.
Nah, I done heard you say this too on other shows, but I agree with you when you said we don't own nobody.
We don't. And to let them be them.
Yeah, if you ain't free, you got to be free to be yourself.
That is so freaking dope.
Yeah, you got to be you. Like, if I got to change anything about you, I shouldn't have to change.
Yeah. That's what's up. I like that.
Shouldn't nothing have to change about you. If anything got to change about you, then I ain't the one, my opinion.
So since you both met in real estate school and you do music, producing and all that stuff, how does she like all that? How do you get to fit all of that into like your marriage?
I put her on a record before. She never sung in her life.
What?
And I put her on a record, and it's my most streamed record to date.
Shut up.
And that's the only song she ever did. She didn't even want to do it. I said, I just need you to say a few words.
Shut up.
I put her on a record, but you're interviewing me now.
I mean, because I like hearing other people's stories, but okay.
Yeah, and it goes well. She support what I do.
Yeah.
She never been a part of nobody that's like me. I'm a multitasker. Like I do photography, graphics.
You're an Aquarius.
Edits. Yeah, I'm all over the place.
That's how I am.
So
as a realtor, how does she like get with you doing so much? Because I think it's easier for a woman to support a man that does that than it is for a man to support a woman who does that.
But she does that though. Her sign is a Gemini.
Oh, that's like our bestie.
Yeah, that's our bestie, ain't it?
Oh my gosh.
So she's a Gemini, so we coexist well. She'll give me my space when I need it. And she'll let me create when I need it. So I appreciate that. We just don't change each other. And her and you say that when I was researching more to have a conversation with you, we don't own people. Like you can't go into the mind frame of ownership of this person, even if you're married, because at the end of the day, when people get married, they feel like I got paperwork on this person. I own them.
Right.
You still don't. A person can leave you today and make the decision to do what they want to with their life because we don't own nothing but ourselves. Yeah, basically.
But that's what's been my problem with, I guess, the dating world. And then like with music. Because it's like, I don't want to date any other musicians, but it's just like only musicians will understand what I'm doing. Excuse me. And like what I have to do. So when I sing about it, it's always like a problem. And I just don't want any more like problems. I don't want, because like most of my songs is about like the chase. I'm on a song called The Chase.
Yeah.
Sweet is about a chase, about a guy and a girl liking each other, chasing. Friend Zone is about being misled and it's still a chase.
Yeah.
Wipe Me Down is trying to manifest a guy who's not about the chase.
Yeah.
My song Femme.
I love that song too.
About guys playing games, a chase.
Yeah.
I don't make records like that anymore. I don't want that to be my story. And then it's kind of like I want love, but then I don't want love.
Nah.
As long as they give me freedom. But people don't understand, like, once you got an Aquarius, you got us.
Yeah. Permanently,
like,
really.
Permanently, like, forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not so my future spouse doesn't have to worry about my old spouses, but I'm gonna have love for everybody.
Yeah.
Now I ain't gonna let nobody cross no line. I'm not gonna cross no boundary, but I'm gonna love everybody forever. But whoever I'm with, I'm loyal to you.
Because we love ourselves so much, we have self-respect for ourselves that we ain't gonna cross no lines.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
I don't know. It's just, but it makes me tired because I think about all these things and it just makes me want to like shell myself, which is also another reason why I kind of didn't want to do the podcast because it's like I have taken everything off my pages. There's nothing on my page right now except for my grandmother.
I'm very appreciative that you gave me your time.
Well, I'm happy that I came, especially knowing that you're an Aquarius. Like, and you get me. You get me. That means you know me. So
yeah. I can relate to you well. That's why I was intrigued by your music and I was intrigued by just your creativity all the way around. I've been listening to you since I've been here since 2017. I think I first was aware of you in 2019.
Wow. And that was a very rough year for me.
Man,
that was the roughest year ever.
In life or in music or in general?
Oh, in life and in music. That year, I did this correspondence stuff for a magazine. I witnessed a homicide. You know, family, parental stuff. You know, what else happened that year? A lot of stuff happened that year.
Man.
It was,
That was before COVID too.
That was right before COVID. And I thought like 2020 was like the year to breathe. And I did breathe in 2020. And really 2020 is what the surgence of who I am with my white hair and everything. Cause I bleached my hair like October of 2019. Cause I cut all my hair off. I was like, this is too much. This is too much. I have gone through so much shit. Let me cut my hair off. And then I was like, you know what? I've never colored my hair. Let me just bleach my hair.
And was this a sort of freedom to that?
It was.
Yeah.
And then it just had this look. And, you know, people love this look. This is what people know me for. And I mean, I'm starting to see more girls online with short bleached hair. I've seen like maybe 2 girls with my complexion, but I guess like, I'm me. Yeah,
you. Nobody else is you.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm me. But I really needed 2020. But I don't like the state of the world as it is now. It's just something is missing and time is going by really fast.
That's super fast. What would you say the state of like black culture, like hip hop culture is at right now? Because it's so much like people are overdosing off of drugs and stuff. Gangsta Boo just overdosed. And
I didn't even know how Gangsta Boo died. I was like, I hope she didn't overdose. So she did overdose.
Overdose off of she was taking some type of pills or whatever and they had fentanyl in it.
Yep. Where did they say that at?
She had did a show and then she went home to do her thing or whatever and she died on the porch from a fentanyl overdose. And the Big Scar dude that was signed to Gucci.
Yeah, Big Scar.
Overdosed. And it's just, what do you think the state of like music culture is right now? And it's weird. It's in a weird space to me.
The state of the music culture.
Because you don't do the hip hop music, do you? Do you consider?
So I used to rap and I used to freestyle. I used to battle rap and all that, like, you know, with guys. I actually found rapping easier than singing.
Yeah, it's way easier.
Which is so crazy. But I think overall, a lot of things are being exposed. So because we are so open digitally, where people have so much access to the ins and outs.
That's true.
It's allowing or permitting, how do I say, any and everybody to do what an artist does. So you have artists at their core, and then you have people who aren't artists who are becoming artists, which that's not a bad thing because it does open the door and opportunity for everyone to do it. And then some things are coming from these people.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's on a search to find themselves. And what's kind of good and bad about this is people are finding themselves in people's music.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's put in the wrong hands, then it's going to cultivate a society that's different than what we need.
And different from what we're used to.
And yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to say like music is God, right? Because God is God and whatever you believe in, your higher power, whatever. But when you think about music is like life.
Yeah.
Music is life. Even chords. I have never studied music theory. I don't even know how to read music, right? But one thing that I do know is that, of course, music heals and music has the power to do a lot of things. So they have studies with, okay, even if you're saying something to water and
you can move it.
You can see the types of
vibration.
Yeah, in the water, like or in the ice. Like you can see how it distorts or changes, right? That's with words. That's with even the musical instruments, like the production or whatever. And then you think about what Kanye was saying about the bass. I never could explain to producers why I would be like,
you listen to podcasts.
Who I listen to podcasts? I don't.
Oh, you listen to snippets of podcasts?
I hear snippets.
Because you heard that from Kanye about the
but
bass.
I love Ye.
Yeah.
I love Ye. So definitely listened. But I would ask engineers, I would be like, that bass, something's missing there. Like, put something there.
It's not warm. I can't feel it.
Yeah. And like bass, I can feel it in a song. Like I could just listen. I'm like, oh yes. The
warmness,
yes. It's just something where it's just like, it makes you whole. Like I got a song called Desire. And I'm singing very high on that song. But there was something missing in between the song. I didn't know what it was. And I told my engineer, Jason Jett, I don't know if you know Jason Jett, but Jason Jett was recording me. He has Grindhouse. He owns that studio, Grindhouse. But this is when he was in his house. Okay. And so we were playing it. I was like, it's missing something.
I know him now.
He hit something on the piano. And it was just like, that he played, and just that,
it was over.
It collectively brought the song together. Just that, and didn't that sound like a annoying sound?
Yeah.
But it was needed in there.
Yeah.
And when you take it out, you can hear I was like, this sounds horrible.
It sounds empty.
Yeah, it was something, but just that, Yeah. So music heals, right? So people are escaping the world as we know it right now. So going back into the accessibility and artists being created or artists getting better or people just who aren't artists, who are just becoming artists, right? Yeah. And so imagine, what do they call this? A conductor, right?
Yeah, it's a conductor that moves.
Right. You're telling Yeah. These people are God. Music is God. So now you're putting it in the ears of people who need healing, who need something, who are trying to find themselves or find something.
That means it could be both. Whatever you believe in, it could be both spiritual beings at the end of it. It could be God or it could be demonic.
Right. And it's just like, who knows? It's free game right now. It's free game for people to be led by anything and becoming anything.
You could be led by what's right or you could be led by what's wrong because we never been in an era where like people rap about and sing about it also murder so much and ops and
right. And I had come across a podcast, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was today, but they were talking about the Glorilla and Moneybagg Yo song where it was just like, you nigga, you ain't good for shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And as an artist, I know like don't take that shit personally. It's like you're just making art, and that's what it is, and that's what people go through, right? But it's just like
to me that's the modern day chicken head song.
Yes, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, if you look at it in a more positive way, it's like, okay, what do you not want to be seen as? Because like even for chicken head, yeah, you like my outfit? Don't even fake the deal. I thought you said you had your girl on the light bill. Listen, that's
relatable. It's this extremely relatable.
Yeah, always in my face talking this and that.
Girl, better buy some rims for the Cadillac.
but honestly, it was the honesty, and people was like, "Damn, is that what the fuck I am? Like, am I a chicken head? Or you got no scrubs, no pigeons? Like, you could take those songs and be like, "Ooh, I don't want to be that, so let me be something else."
Yeah.
So you can look at it in a positive way.
So
like
it's our perception, however you receive it,
right? But it's just like, do we have the parents or the OGs that are going to direct us? Because technology is kind of taking over, but it's just like,
or do we want to be directed?
But I feel like some people do want to be directed, because think about how many people, some people are kind of getting out of the working world.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like, I want to be directed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have the discipline enough to
allow someone to direct?
The discipline to direct yourself. And a lot of people don't have the discipline to direct themselves or do things for themselves. But
that's true.
And then sometimes it's just like you have to delegate. But we need OGs.
We need OGs with positive perspectives, because the OGs that we have nowadays, my view of it is that they're leading the youth down the wrong path. We got to lead them down the right path. But who's to say what the right path is, though?
Right. And I feel we're getting to a state of existence. Like, I feel like this is true in a true Aquarian era.
It definitely is.
Because it's just like all for all, and
the information
just flowing.
It's just free information. Everything is information now. Yeah,
and so that goes into even my reading books. You can read as much as you want, but are you going to implement? And so I'm trying to implement.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it very hard.
You know, I listen to Audible app a lot, and I have a library myself. I try to read as much as I possibly can, but I've been consumed with a lot of things lately to where my time is limited. But sometimes I have to put the books down and implement the things that I have read, because you can be knowledgeable, but what are you doing with the knowledge?
With the knowledge.
You ain't accessing the knowledge. So, dang, that's crazy. But, Lillian, if you was to leave the foe, if you was to leave Charlotte to continue to pursue and elevate your career, where would you go? Which you shouldn't have to leave the fold. This is a metropolitan city to the point to where if the support was here like how it should be, you shouldn't have to go nowhere to be able to go platinum, gold, or whatever.
I don't know. That has been a big question, and I have talked over the years about leaving, and I still have not left, but I would like for this to be the year that I actually do leave. Because this is my year of 369. So if I do leave, then it has to be this year. Like, I really need to leave. But you were saying Memphis, which I really, 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 really loved Memphis. Like, oh my God. Like,
the type of voice you have. Do you do like vocal exercise and stuff?
Yeah.
I kind of could. I can't tell, but your voice and your vocals be so clear on the songs and stuff. I was like,
crazy.
Golly.
But see, I wish I had a vocal coach. If I had a vocal coach, then I'd really be insane.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest, like, I don't even be singing during the day. I don't sing. I might sing to myself or sing along to songs, but I don't sing. And I don't know if it's like I'm feeling away emotionally. But I really wish that I could just spend my days like just singing, but I just love creating. So, but if I did leave right now,
no New York, no LA.
I would love New York, but of course New York is hella expensive. But I would love New York because I feel so at peace in New York. Like, I feel like I just love hopping on trains. I love, doing my things.
It's busy too. It seems like
busy.
It's moving.
And I love busy, but like nobody in New York wants to be in New York.
That's true.
Which is weird.
Nobody want to spend $7,500 on a 1-bedroom.
Right. So nobody wants to live in New York. Even the guy who I was, attracted to, I won't even say we were talking or anything like that, but like his family is from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I knew I liked him, because I'm like, your background is from Memphis. That means they got some soul up in you somewhere. Like, you from New York, but he's from New York. He's from New York. His family's from New York, but I guess his roots are from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, ooh, that's the best of both worlds. I like that.
If you could get some production from Memphis with your voice, it'll be over.
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. I feel like that might hit. Because, and then to me, Memphis is like Texas. So like Texas is also like Memphis, Texas, Miami, New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I kind of want to.
Miami.
Yeah.
Not to be on a racial stuff or whatever, but when I go to Miami, I don't even see black or white people. I'm so used to it. I just see.
Are they racially ambiguous people, like Cubanos? Like.
Yeah, it's Cubanos, Latinos, Haitians. It's just a different. It's different down there. It's not like when you come to the Carolinas, it's just majority black and white people. But down there, it's more island. I don't even see people that look like us.
I don't look islandy.
So
what do I look like I'm from?
You don't look like you're from Charlotte. Okay. So do you have a Haitian background?
Why is that? Why don't I look like I'm from Charlotte?
I don't know what Charlotte looks like, to be honest.
Charlotte don't have no look?
To me, coming from another place, coming to Charlotte, the culture it's a lack of culture to me. Seeing it,
I agree.
It's a metropolitan city with a lot of people coming from everywhere else that's embracing the city, and I don't meet too many people that's originally from the city. I don't, so I don't know what the look is, or the sound, to be honest.
Yeah. Because
would you consider the baby's music the sound of Charlotte?
I feel like the baby made his own sound.
Then you got Ari Lennox. You got...
but Ari is from like Raleigh or like High Point or Durham, right?
No, I thought that was from High Point. I thought that was what's her name? Fantasia from High Point.
But so where's Ari Lennox from?
I thought it's promoted that she's from the West Side, but I don't know for sure.
The West Side of Charlotte?
Yeah.
She's from Charlotte?
Yeah. That's what's
Look it up on your phone really fast.
Okay, let's check it out.
Yeah, go to Wiki, because now I really want to know.
And I have some questions too before our interview, and from people that you collaborated with and people that know you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got some questions. I got some dope ones too. Ari Lennox, hometown.
I'm sorry, I'm eating these things in front of y'all.
Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah. She gives me D.C.
Hold on. Let me see. Where am I getting Charlotte from? That's where she was birthed in. That's where she was birthed in Washington, D.C.
So where was she brought up?
Ari Lennox from Charlotte. Nah, she's not from Charlotte. She can't be from Charlotte. The only thing they're doing is trying to sell tickets to Charlotte.
She's coming.
Put Ari Lennox in her, but I would say she's okay. She got a profile on singer-songwriter from Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know where I got that from. Oh, but I've heard multiple times that she says, wasn't she signed to? She might have been trying to, because she was with Cole or whatever.
Dreamville, yeah.
Yeah, Dreamville.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They say she's from DC originally, so.
So what questions you got with these collaborations?
Okay, let me get the collaborator.
Because you know everything. I'm like, oh my God.
So the person wanted to know, how does watching your youngest son enjoy his art make you feel?
Somebody gave you that question to ask?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so how does watching my youngest son
make art? How does him enjoying his art make you feel? How does him enjoying it?
I live through him. I really do. He is a breath of fresh air. He is, I don't know. He's incredible. He's the reason why I keep going. He tells me that I'm a superstar.
I think you're a superstar too.
But I see a superstar in him. So I don't know. It's kind of like he's the male version of me, especially a younger me and a me now. So like he could say something out loud and that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, can he hear me or something? So it's kind of like me looking at myself, which is so weird. So I really enjoy it. And he has more courage than me at the age he is now. And so it's a pleasant surprise. And how do I say this? Like if I were to ever like leave this earth, I feel like he will carry the legacy. He will carry my legacy. Thing. So I try to kind of like, when I see him do something, I will pour into it. You know what I'm saying?
You invest all your energy into it.
Yes, because if I can't do it, then he can. Because sometimes I feel like, I'm like, will I ever see the things that I envisioned and imagined of myself? Oh, this makes me want to cry.
Should I go to the next question?
Because it makes me want to cry.
What is his creativity? What is his art?
He does everything.
That's what's up.
Yeah, he is really like a little me. Like he even does more than me. Like he will sketch. He does ballet. He reads. He does so much stuff. I won't even tell you. I'll tell you off camera what he wants to read. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if I should let him read it, but he really wants to read it. But he, like now he's yo-yoing. He teaches, he's taught himself Russian. He knows Mandarin. He's spoken Spanish.
He knows Russian? Wow.
He's teaching it to himself. He's kind of taking a hiatus, but he's about to get back into it. Yeah. That's
great because when you said that I know already he can carry on the legacy. That's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and he said that like, yeah.
Do you speak multiple languages?
I speak German. Yeah.
I don't even speak English. I speak country.
That's a good language to speak. Boy, that country swine though. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's so funny. Okay.
This the next question from the collaborator. Okay. It said, how did you get the feature with Hakeem Ali? How did that come about?
So Letitia Marie, she's a photographer. And how did I meet Letitia? Oh, okay. So Friend Zone, right? My song Friend Zone. I had recorded Friend Zone and I was shooting a video for Friend Zone. And it was over at Compound Studios. And the guy who was playing my boyfriend, or the male interest for that, what's his name? Detray.
Yeah.
He's with the social currency. That collective or whatever.
Currency. I heard about that.
Yeah, the baby is under like $1 billion baby, whatever. So Detray, he was playing the male interest. And he had a photographer. A photographer came in with him, which is Letitia. So Letitia was there and she was taking behind the scenes pictures or whatever for him. And she was like, this is a good song or whatever. And she had heard Sweet. I think he played Sweet for her, or she heard Sweet in the studio. And she was just, I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a male voice for it because I know this was far-fetched back then, but I wanted Nipsey on it because I love Nip. And when I was in Raleigh, we were making connections with people because I had opened up a show for somebody else and they had connections to Nip and what's her name? K Michelle, like some other people. And so we were gonna try to make that happen.
Yeah.
So I wanted somebody who was like, you know, had that, because I love G-Funk. I love G-Funk. So I wanted somebody who had like a Southern, even though Nip didn't got a Southern vibe, but it's still West Coast. So like West Coast, Southern, whatever, either or. So she was like, I work with this artist. His name's Hakeem Ali. And I think he would sound really good on it. So I was like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying, send this stuff. And I was just like, that name sounds so familiar. So what's crazy is I was on Instagram and I had come across Hakeem and I was just like, oh man, this dude sound like dope as fuck. Like, and then so when she said it, it was kind of like, just like when you said like multiple times, like you see me or whatever, it was like that. And so she was just like, well, he cost this, but we can't, you know what I'm saying? He might bring it down a little bit, which even the little bit was a lot. So I guess she let him hear it and he liked it. He was just like, if I wanted to, you know, pay for a feature or whatever, then, you know, he would make it happen. So yeah.
That's how it happened.
And he came to Charlotte. He liked it. It was good. We never shot the video. We were supposed to shoot the video.
Where is he from originally?
He's from Tennessee. Not Memphis. He's from Mississippi.
Mississippi, yeah.
Yeah, he's from Mississippi. But he is so dope. A gentleman, like, he's awesome sauce. I just hit him up for Christmas. But he checks in. Like, even though he's doing a lot of stuff, he's Lou Will's artist, you know, he's just like, you know, he'll tap in, he checks in on me. And so I appreciate that. He's a really stand-up guy. So I still need to shoot that video because I paid a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a great record. And you have multiple versions of that record though too.
I do. I have the fast version I kind of want to take down. I got the chopped and screw version because I love chopped and screw. Like, it's not chopped and screw because in Texas, if it ain't from screw, then you don't say that. So we call it the blanking version. We call it blanking, the blanking mix.
Okay.
And I can listen to the blanking mix over and over and over.
I love chopped and screw music too.
Yes. So I have that radio version and the regular version. Yeah. That's
what's up. Yeah, I seen that you made a whole EP out of one record. That's how dope the record is, because that's to me that's one of your top records. But I told you before we came on what was my favorite. The Friend Zone record is fire. It's a lot of fire records though. You got another one too. Somebody's Son is fire.
Which I want to put it back on DSP. I can't think of the title.
And I wanted to ask you why some of your records ain't on DSP, but I think our time is coming short, and I want to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
Where do you see Lillian Blanche? Let me get my
People say it in different ways.
But that's that twang coming out of me when I say your name like that. Where do you see you musically in 2023? Because it's January right now.
I don't want to say I don't know. And I want to speak some things into existence. And to be honest, I don't know. I need help. I need a lot of help for where I see my music.
If I can assist you, I got your back. We're going to talk.
Okay. But I see Lillian Blanche music. And I've said this before where I wanted to be in movies and things like that. But this year, I have written this down. So it's got to be in one major film. Even if it's at the top of 2024.
Acting or mute or record?
The record. And I see it in a major sitcom, like major show.
You already have a record on a video game.
Yes. Which
a major video game.
I'm so happy that made that. But yeah, that's why I see that. And I want to direct and produce like film, like short film this year. So yeah, but I would like to be on another video game. But definitely a film, a show, a major show, and
I could see you working with an artist too.
Yeah,
I could see you creating a whole project for an artist.
You know what? I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I mean, it might require me to go to Atlanta, which I don't know. For some reason, I'm not feeling Atlanta right now. I don't want to be in Atlanta.
Me neither.
But I would love to live somewhere and travel. Somebody, you keep saying Memphis, and so now it just makes me think, like, should I move to Memphis?
You might have to visit it a couple times first.
Okay, just to get,
Visit it a couple times first.
Okay. They have a great Black ballet studio that I would love for my son to go to, which, reminds me, I need to sign up for a summer intensive for him.
You know, per capita, that's the city with the most people that look like us in the country.
Didn't know that.
Like if it's 600,000 people, there's 550,000 that look like us. They'll say it's not the city with the most people that look like us. They'll probably try to say New York is, but New York is more populated. So, but per capita, Memphis has the most African American individuals.
Swag. I don't know, but those two things for sure this year. I would like to be acting, and I also wrote down that I want to work behind the scenes of a major film. So, yeah.
That's what's up. Hey, man, but I appreciate you being on my show. You welcome on my platform anytime. And we're going to have to link up. I'm going to have to discuss some things with you after we do the podcast because I might need a collaboration with Lily.
Oh, yeah, we can make it happen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. At the end of every podcast, I say, peace, love, plenty, abundance, and make sure you go get you some money. And I'm out.
The Trevor Jackson